Hey, what's up guys? This is an extension video to the video I've made earlier this week. I've been playing around with this deck, tested it a bit, and I found some interesting way to play with it and some things I didn't know about back when I made that video. I'd like to share with you guys. First off, in the previous video I said that this trap was harder to pull off because it uses one of your Centurion continuous trap monsters, and if you end up using one of them before, you wouldn't be able to make Crimson Dragon. But actually, in that combo line I did in the other video, you could have actually searched this and still done that line. I will show you guys later in this video. Second point I'd like to mention is this deck can actually now utilize Prosperity. Before, Prosperity wasn't good in this deck because Legacia has to draw a card to destroy a monster on the field. So this had a conflict with the Pot of Prosperity. And now since this is will always be your main turn one play, you can now actually play Pot of Prosperity in this deck in the pure version. So I've taken up the 2 Mourner and Ghost spells for 3 Prosperity and 1 of the counteract, True Awakening. The extra deck can be customizable the way you prefer it, but these options are very versatile and I found to be the best. Psychic and Punisher can sometimes come up if you start with your field spell, get Primera out, and Primera somehow gets negated while you have Fenrir on the field. On your opponent turn, after using Fenrir, you could just quick synchro into Psychic and Punisher. Or you have the Crimson options. Final Sigma, if you didn't know, you can watch my previous video explaining how to play around Super Poly with Final Sigma. The new Legatia, she's not very necessary now, but it's good to have one of. This one we'll need to play at least 2 of now, since she's your current best starter synchro to go into. The level 8 options are optional, but I like Berserker because it banishes any monster that activates. For example, if your opponent activates Unshaken Shavara in the hand, you can just banish that card. Or if they activate their Link to link into something, you could just activate this to banish that. And it plays around stuff and has a nice battle phase effect that lets you attack twice. Typhon, just good in general if you don't have much to extend with going second. Just go into Typhon. Zeus, and Photon Lord. I've shown 2 combos that go into Photon Lord in the previous video in your access code line. So let me start by showing you guys the combo. The combo focuses on Wake Up Centurion. This new card on the surface looks underwhelming, but actually can help you play around Ash, and is very, very important for the pure version, as it could be an extra body, a level 8 body, that this deck struggled with before. So this combo needs Wake Up Centurion and any of your 1 card starter, preferably Oath or the field spell. Okay, to show this, I'll make a opening 5-card opening hand. We will start with Emblem of Oath. Set the field spell. Activate the field spell. Use the field spell effect. Discard in a card. And set in Primera. Before you special summon Primera, use the new Wake Up Centurion effect to special summon a level 8 token. Now, before synchro summoning or special summon of Primera, use the Wake Up Centurion to send bonds. Now, with this setup, you will never be able to lose against Ash. So, you'll use the effect. Special summon Primera. Primera's effect is Chainlink 1, very important. Chainlink 1, field spell Chainlink 2. This will chain block Primera from Ash. Now we will go into the new synchro. Here is where you add Trudea. And now on a new chain, we'll again make this Chainlink 1 and bonds Chainlink 2 to play around Ash once more. Here is where you add the counter trap. Now you need fuel for the counter trap because you have to send one face-up monster card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. And this is where Trudea comes up. Activate Trudea, use her effect. It doesn't matter which, you want to get the level 8s. Doesn't really matter which level 8 you get. I prefer Emeth now. If, let's say Crimson, if Calamity gets banned, and you're going second, this is probably your better option. I would probably set this, because this can chain block Legatea, but I like Emeth for this line. And here is where you actually have fuel for your counter trap. So here, you will Chainlink 1 Emeth to special, Chainlink 2 Primary to special. If they activate Cosmic or any interruption of that sort, you could just chain the counter trap, send in Trudea to negate. So assuming nothing happens, here's where you activate Chainlink 1 Primera, Chainlink 2 Field Spell to go. Here, if you look closely, this is a light, this is an earth, and this is a dark. This here, your opponent won't be able to super poly you. And now you'll go into Synchro 12 Crimson Dragon. Again, doesn't matter what you add here, we'll just add Gargoyle for the follow-up to break the opponent board or attack the game. On the previous board, before this new support, you would have Legacia here, which was a light monster, and your opponent would wait until here to super poly both of your boss monsters, which hurts a lot for this deck. But now, since this is a dark, and this is a light, I believe yes, a light, your opponent cannot super poly you, which is very, very awesome. You use the effect, target the level 12, summon Calamity, or whichever level 12 you prefer. Activate it, and now your opponent is locked for a little bit. Here they could set Super Poly and play on your turn, but by that time you have already skipped your opponent's turn. Hopefully you can continue playing from there. When you get back to your turn, this is why I searched the Gargoyle. Just send off the field spell, special summon him, and just do, if they didn't trigger your counter trap, you can just continue with your Trudea's effect. Or during their in phase, you could have had someone back to Primera, put back in the back row, if you had used your counter trap. And this here, I think, is the best line so far that I've seen this deck can do. It plays around Super Poly. It's under 5 summon. And it gives you fuel for the counter trap. Because your summon 1 was Primera, 2 was your token, 3 was your synchro, summon 4 was your Trudea, which is very good. And you are completely insulated against Ash, thanks to Bond, and the card that sent Bond. Here it is, Wake Up Centurion. This deck is very insulated against what used to hurt it a lot more, which is a very good improvement. Another thing while testing that I'd like to mention is that this deck used to get hurt a lot by Dimensional Shifter. However, thanks to the new Synchro 12 Centurion Arc, you can actually get monsters from your banished pile. But you have to be aware that your field spell has to send to the graveyard. So if you have a line where you don't really need to activate your field spell, you can actually continue playing or play your turn 1 without using the field spell. It's more difficult to do, but it's very possible. For example, if you have Oath or Primera, Oath or Trudea, you could definitely do that line. And this is all I've discovered so far. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions, please leave them in a comment. And have a great rest of your evening.